Heterodox in economics. A recession is a business cycle contraction when there is a general decline in economic activity. Recessions generally occur when there is a widespread drop in spending. This may be triggered by various events, such as a financial crisis, an external trade shock, an adverse supply shock, the bursting of an economic bubble, or a large-scale anthropogenic or natural disaster. In the United States, it is defined as a significant decline in economic activity spread across the market, lasting more than a few months, normally visible in real GDP, real income, employment, industrial production, and wholesale retail sales. In the United Kingdom, it is defined as a negative economic growth for 2 consecutive quarters. Governments usually respond to recessions by adopting expansionary macroeconomic policies, such as increasing money supply or increasing government spending and decreasing taxation. Put simply, a recession is the decline of economic activity, which means that the public has stopped buying products for a while, which can cause the downfall of GDP after a period of economic expansion. This causes inflation. In a recession, the rate of inflation slows down, stops, or becomes negative. In a 1974 The New York Times article, Commissioner of the Bureau of Labor Statistics Julius Shiskin suggested several rules of thumb for defining a recession, one of which was 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. In time, the other rules of thumb were forgotten. Some economists prefer a definition of a 1.5 to 2 percentage points rise in unemployment within 12 months. In the United States, the Business Cycle Dating Committee of the National Bureau of Economic Research is generally seen as the authority for dating U.S. recessions. The NBER, a private economic research organization, defines an economic recession as a significant decline in economic activity spread across the economy, lasting more than a few months, normally visible in real GDP, real income, employment, industrial production, and wholesale retail sales. Almost universally, academics, economists, policymakers, and businesses refer to the determination by the NBER for the precise dating of a recession's onset and end. In the United Kingdom, recessions are generally defined as 2 consecutive quarters of negative economic growth, as measured by the seasonal adjusted quarter-on-quarter figures for real GDP. The same definition is used by member states of the European Union. A recession has many attributes that can occur simultaneously and includes declines in component measures of economic activity such as consumption, investment, government spending, and net export activity. These summary measures reflect underlying drivers such as employment levels and skills, household savings rates, corporate investment decisions, interest rates, demographics, and government policies. Economist Richard C. Who wrote that under ideal conditions, a country's economy should have the household sector as net savers and the corporate sector as net borrowers, with the government budget nearly balanced and net exports near zero. When these relationships become imbalanced, recession can develop within the country or create pressure for recession in another country. Policy responses are often designed to drive the economy back towards this ideal state of balance. A severe or prolonged recession is referred to as an economic depression, although some argue that their causes and cures can be different. As an informal shorthand, economists sometimes refer to different recession shapes, such as V-shaped, U-shaped, L-shaped and W-shaped recessions. The type and shape of recessions are distinctive. In the US, V-shaped, or short and sharp contractions followed by rapid and sustained recovery, occurred in 1954 and 1990-91, U-shaped in 1974-75, and W-shaped, or double-deep recessions in 1949 and 1980-82. Japan's 1993-94 recession was U-shaped and its 8 out of 9 quarters of contraction in 1997-99 can be described as L-shaped. Korea, Hong Kong and Southeast Asia experienced U-shaped recessions in 1997-98. Although Thailand's 8 consecutive quarters of decline should be termed L-shaped. Recessions have psychological and confidence aspects. For example, if companies expect economic activity to slow, they may reduce employment levels and save money rather than invest. Such expectations can create a self-reinforcing downward cycle, bringing about or worsening a recession. Consumer confidence is one measure used to evaluate economic sentiment. The term animal spirits has been used to describe the psychological factors underlying economic activity. Economist Robert J. Shiller wrote that the term refers also to the sense of trust we have in each other, our sense of fairness in economic dealings, and our sense of the extent of corruption and bad faith. When animal spirits are on ebb, consumers do not want to spend and businesses do not want to make capital expur.